My name is Al-Jalali and I am currently studying at the University of Salford, exercise, physical activity and health. And this video is for my personal practitioner skills development assessment. The assessment involved having to choose a job role related to the degree and identifying our strengths and weaknesses through a series of questionnaires and seeing how compatible we are with this job role. After the strengths and weaknesses were identified or highlighted, we created a personal development plan, which gave us a section where we put in the resources required to develop on these weaknesses, as well as a time frame we've given ourselves to develop. The job I chose was a PE teacher's job role. There are many reasons for this reason. The main reason was when I was at high school, and we chose our GCSE options. I picked sport, even though I wasn't good at it. But I was really interested in it. And there were some sports I wasn't really enthusiastic about, but I wasn't great at. So I chose it, and I had this PE teacher, and he was just amazing. He was very down to earth, very helpful, very friendly, easy to get along with, and was just an incredible man in general. He made lessons fun. He made lessons interesting, and he kept everyone engaged at all times. There was no distractions, where a child may have done something wrong, and there was no friction in the classroom. Everything went smoothly, which was an incredible experience. And I always wanted to be a teacher, but after those lessons, I knew I wanted to be a PE teacher in particular. So, as I said earlier, I completed a series of questionnaires in the class, and these questionnaires highlighted our strengths and weaknesses. The first questionnaire results which I got was from the Honey and Mumford Learning Styles questionnaire, which showed I was a reflector. I feel this has worked in my favour quite a bit because I'm able to identify faults in my own practice, so I can look back at myself and tell myself, hold on, I've done something wrong here, I need to do this, that, or whatever. Or if I've done something right here, keep doing it, it seems to be working. As well as this, I can reflect on other people's practices, so I can look at theirs, and if they ever make a mistake, I usually, I can look at it and learn from it, and I can make sure not to do that. As well as this, I'm honest, so I need to be honest with myself to be able to reflect on my own practices. I need to see, hold on, I've done something wrong here, or ask for help, or tell someone they're doing something wrong. I do tend to do a lot of those things. However, there are weaknesses in this trait which I have, and that is I may be overly critical sometimes. So I may hurt someone's feelings, telling them if they've done something wrong, or lower their self-confidence. Like I said before, I'm very honest, so I do say things which some people might not want to hear, and also I'm likely to take risks which aren't great in a teaching environment, because you wanna keep everything as smoothly going as possible. Taking risks in lessons probably isn't ideal, because the lesson might not go as well. Another result was my personality test. I resulted in getting 2 results for this one: sanguine and choleric. So sanguine is I am an extrovert and I am unstable. and choleric is the same extrovert, but I'm stable. So what happened was when I did the questionnaire, I got extrovert, but I got two numbers which matched unstable and stable, and the numbers were the same. So I put down two results for this. So as I've said, I'm an extrovert. This is ideal for a PE teacher because being lively, being very energetic will reflect on the children. So basically, if you're being very lively and active and enthusiastic, and so will the children. They rub off on the people around them, and especially teachers because they are the role models of the children. Also, being an extrovert means I'm very talkative, which is ideal, especially in a PE or teaching environment, because you want your children to have that relationship with you where they can talk to you if they have any issues, um, or even if staff members are finding it difficult doing something, for it to be easy to approach you and ask questions or ask for advice. So, although these are the benefits of being an extrovert, um, I did get unstable on one of the results. So all this means is that I could essentially go overboard with the uh, enthusiasm, being really energetic, and then I might just lose focus on the lesson plan, and just go completely off board. Um, and again, like I said before, children rub off on the people who surround them. So if they see you're not focusing, then they won't be focusing either. But however, um, I did get stable, so I'm able to control myself most of the times as well. So the result I got for my leadership style questionnaire was that I was a delegative person. Um, I don't feel this has worked in my favour in terms of being a PE teacher, but being delegative does have its strengths. So I'm able to allow others to contribute um, into, for example, if we're in meetings, I'd allow them or let them speak up if they normally won't. Um, I'm, I'm, I'm good at giving tasks out to other people, especially students, class, kids at the school. Um, Being able to give them roles for them to carry out is ideal because how are they going to get work done, essentially? But the weaknesses outweigh the strengths in this area. For example, I might become lazy from letting everyone else get work done. Um, Children may notice my attitude towards my style in being a leader, like, being very laid back. So they might become laid back because children do copy their peers and their role models. I may put my trust into incompetent staff members, so thinking they can do a task when they're not actually capable of doing it. Um, and in meetings where I'm required to give my opinion, I'll just sit there and not really take part. Now my intelligence tests, I resulted in being an interpersonal type of person. Uh, this I feel is a huge advantage in my favour. Being an interpersonal person allows me to connect well with the people I'm working with or even socialising. Um, as well as this, people find it easy to approach and talk to me for whatever reason. In a teaching environment, this is a strength, like I've just said, as students and staff may approach me for asking questions, and not finding it difficult to approach me. Um, and students could approach me with their personal problems as well. Um, Whether it's class related or home related, being an interpersonal person is very 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 ideal in a teaching environment. my emotional intelligence test. I scored very high for that. This is ideal because I'm able to notice children, um, if they're finding something difficult or if they're really upset. I'm able to identify it and intervene when it's necessary. However, a weakness of this is that intervening a child's problems isn't always great. They need to be able to solve things or do things themselves as well. For my personal development plan, I've listed areas of development. The first one was to maintain professional practice with children. So as I've stated before, I am an interpersonal person, but this could also have negative effects where children start to feel too friendly with you and they don't see you as a teacher but more as a friend. So I intend on doing this by regularly attending meetings with the school on professional practice, and as well as this, go over the staff handbook. And I've given myself 3 years to do this, so from now until I graduate, because I have started to volunteer at the primary school, so I've got lots of opportunities to attend the meetings. Another one was to give attention to all my tasks. So because I am a complete finisher, I do tend to focus on just one task in particular. To develop this weakness of focusing on just one area, I have decided to give myself a timetable where during the week I focus on a specific task. So by doing this, what I've done is at university I've got several modules, and during the week each day I do one module for a specific day. So I'm not focusing on one module more than the other. I'm giving them all equal amounts of time. And again, I'm giving myself from now all the way until I graduate, to let myself get better at organising myself. Another area to improve on is my ability to take lessons more seriously. Because I am an extrovert and I am unstable as well as stable, but more often than not, I am unstable. So I need to be able to focus on the task at hand, and I can do this by following the guidelines and procedures set in the staff handbooks at the school, which I have, and regularly go over it and constantly improve my practice. My next area of development is basically to improve my contribution when I'm in meetings. So because I'm a very delegative person, when I do go to these meetings, I tend to sit back and not really take part a lot. I let everyone else do the talking, but obviously this isn't really ideal. So what I've done to help myself improve in this area is give myself time to actually attend these meetings rather than every now and again, very rarely, attend them regularly, and force myself to put myself in a position where I will have to present ideas forward if needed. And another area, the final area, is to organise my time appropriately. Although I already have regimented myself to works on my modules for university on separate days, that was more for a reason so I could focus on my work equally. But this is basically so I can give myself more time. What I mean is I tend to waste time quite a lot. I play video games a lot, which I know I need to really stop doing. And if I organise my leisure time, then I should essentially be able to have more time to focus on my university work, as well as being able to actually attend these meetings. If I have more time then on my hands, then that means I have more time to be more productive. And that is all. Thank you for listening. That concludes the video.